"That's horrifying," my son said, so completely serious, not at all trying to be funny. His nose wrinkled in disgust as he turned his head away. And so I stopped my song and dance, my literal song and dance, immediately, to spare him further terror, and because I was out of breath, and frankly, because I was a little afraid myself. My husband and daughter kept silent over by the slide, possibly out of kindness, though probably more from shock. You see, it was a lovely fall morning in a small town just down the road from where I grew up. We'd spent a few days visiting my southwest Minnesota hometown, and we were on the return drive. We stopped at a park along the way to play and run off some energy, a park adjacent to that town's high school football field. The field appeared entirely unchanged since the fall nights decades ago, when I cheered there at my team's away games, all decked out with my pom-poms and my ponytails and my insulated vinyls. Fall nights on the prairie get pretty cold, so we saved the short skirts for pep fests in the gym. And maybe because I was under the spell of autumn, all those lovely shimmering leaves, or because I spent the weekend around all those old places, or maybe simply because that field was just so close to the swings and the monkey bars, I felt moved to bust out my old school song. With actions. Singing and dancing it on the wood chips on a Sunday morning like that's a normal thing for a mom to do. I was so sure that I'd remember it, that it would just come right back, and that it would be fun for all of us. I expected something like admiration, some enthusiastic clapping, or maybe a, "Wow, Mom, you were really cool." And so I jumped right in. The words were not a problem. The general bounciness took a bit more effort than I remembered, and also made me regret not following through on those kegels. But the actions, that is where everything fell apart. I only got so far into it. Worthington High, Worthington High. Before I realized I didn't know what to do next. Do my arms shoot up in a V or punch out to the sides? I swung them wildly while hopping and kicking erratically. My voice cracked, unable to hit the high notes, and I sort of hit a new low. My son watched wide-eyed and not with the good kind of wonder. "That's horrifying, Mom," he said of my little mom dance down memory lane, which thankfully stopped me mid-bounce. I laughed because he was right, and I gasped for air because I'm out of shape, and I even teared up a bit because there we were at a new stage. My son is old enough to find me horrifying. It's a milestone. A milestone that, of course, doesn't quite make it into the baby book, but like the ones I so dutifully recorded there for the first year or so, like his first rollover and first unassisted step, it marks something significant. He's growing up, he's getting bigger, time's passing, and apparently we're both getting older. Once I caught my breath, and once he could again look me in the eye, I promised my boy that I would never, ever attempt to sing and dance my high school song again, no matter how nostalgic the weekend or the weather, for the good of the children and for what remains of my self-respect. And then he went back to kicking a soccer ball around the playground and was soon joined by his dad, and then his little sister, and then even by me. I'm still as horrible at that as I was when I was 17, but impressing him with my soccer skills is not my goal. He quickly scored past his father, who was, once upon a time, a high school defender himself. And of course, I clapped and yelled and cheered wildly. Because after all, that's what moms do.